Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome to In Over My Head with your host, me. Yeah, that guy. Anyway, so still working on the wiring. Been making steady progress, I guess. Pretty happy with how this came out. So this is the dash panel. I don't remember if I've showed this or not. This is the one that came out of the 66. So it was in worse condition than the one out of the 65, the silver car. So I'm just using it for mock-up right now. And basically I've got it. I hope I have it done. I really want to believe I have it done. So these are those weather pack connectors I think I've mentioned before. They're GM style. I mean, these are clones, but these are GM style connector. So for the ignition, or for the center dash, the removable portion, we've got 14 wires coming out total. 4 for the ignition switch on a rectangular connector, 4 more because I didn't have a big enough connector to do. Really, it's those two combined, so that's 10 total for everything else, which is gauges, indicators, lights, the switch for the headlights. This is the stunt one because I've got the other, this one's just junk, but I've got the other one in the nice dash. This is actually the reset cable, if you're curious. This is the reset cable for the trip odometer. It's sort of stuck in place. I haven't tried to get it off there, but it doesn't really matter because I got the other one. So again, I'm not sure if I've shown this before, but there's my spreadsheet for all the wiring I'm working on. I've added to that over in the left column, that's the pin it's on. So you can see 6-pack, 4-pack, and 4-pack connectors. And I've been colorizing everything. I've got rules set up in Google Sheets or Google Docs or whatever to do this. Yeah, so that's nice. Over here, I'm trying to make everything match up. So for instance, I don't really have anything completely done. Oh, yeah, I do. This is the 4 wires that are going to run to the ignition switch, and I've got them labeled appropriately so they pair up and the colors match. So when it's time to put the other connector on, it'll go pretty quick, hopefully. But I have to shorten all the wires and still make sure everything works. This is the rest of the dash wiring comes over to this section, and there should be about 10 wires there. I think I'm missing a few because there's 4 for that. This is for the steering column. So again, that should be 10 wires total, but there's going to be a few that I need to splice together for the turn signals because my turn signal switch only has one wire for each side of the turn signals, and this harness has 2 coming off of there. So I'll just splice those fairly close to the fuse panel, probably just to save some wiring and clutter. I've been just like labeling stuff. This is the flasher relay, which is also a stunt piece because the Spitfire only has 1 indicator. So whether the left or the right switch is blinking, it only lights up 1 light in the dash, which is weird, but so I can't use a 2-wire switch because that just flashes the signal. I need the 3rd wire that says that it's being drawn. Maybe I could do that, but 3-wire switch, it should be easier. I could do it with a diode, but or 2 diodes, I think. Again, here's my assorted lengths of wire. Still need more. In fact, I may run to the Home Depot or something soon and try to find some dark green wire because I'm running low on that. Actually, I've got a ton for the horn, so I could use that. Yeah. So down here, the alternator is installed more or less. The pulley alignment looks really off, but I think it's about right. I need to get a longer pulley. And another thing I'm going to run to the store for, with a mask, of course. But that alternator's ready. I've got a connector coming in today or Monday or something that should socket into it, so I can just plug in, crimp everything. I'm still going to redo some stuff up here in the bonnet. If I've got enough wire length, which I'm sure I do. get rid of the 3 wires that go into each of the buckets for the headlights and replace those with new ones from the kit, the harness. I did dissect some horns today. This is one that was in the 65 and it sort of works. Seeing as this is a incredibly small car, I think it's smart to put a really loud horn in it. Horns as two. So I've got some I think German ones on the way, but they'll go on those 2 shiny spots down there. I also swapped out the windshield wiper. That was a piece that I restored at least a year, probably more ago, off of the 65. It needs to be cleaned up a little bit. There's some grease on it. But the other one was pretty rusty. I think it worked, but might as well just restore it, have the new one in. That's pretty much the extent of the progress around here. Yeah, that's the box that I had the horn in, or the wiper motor in. Really, everything electrical on the car is new, rebuilt, or improved, except for the starter at this point. And the starter isn't really part of the wiring harness because it's got heavy, like 4-gauge wires going to it, which I will replace at some point. Yeah, like that's nope, that's not it. Anyway, they're big wires that go to the starter, and I'm going to replace those and maybe rebuild or replace the starter at some point. Maybe put an upgraded one in there. And then, strictly speaking, electronically, everything in this car will be new or rebuilt. The gauges are really the only thing that's not going to be completely new or redone electronically because they're really simple and they work. And there's only 2 electronic gauges, so there are 2 cable-driven gauges. That's actually one of those that cable I thought was a battery cable. So these are Bowden cable? No. They spin and spin a set of magnets inside of there, and that moves the gauges. So I've got my incredibly well laid out workstation here. I really want to maybe build, once I can get some space to get my table saw out or go to the woodworking guild, I want to build a electronics caddy. Adam Savage did something like that, but for soldering, I want to be able to do it for soldering and crimping. So I want all my crimpers, my strippers, for a laugh. These are the horns out of this car, and you can probably, it's literally full of, there was wasp nests. But anyway, I just kind of like the name of them. So the 60s were a wild time. I tried to drill these open, and instead I stabbed myself and the drill bit broke. And I mean, they're not really worth rebuilding. It's like $40 for new ones that'll be a little louder, hopefully. I do like having power at my bench, so this is a UPS battery that is pretty much past its prime. I think I'm gonna grab a new one of those, lawnmower battery, same thing, that I can charge and keep at the bench or move over here so I can actually power test stuff. It's not really strictly necessary, but it'd be awfully nice. But yeah, that's the last several weeks in a jar. Multimeter shutting off. It's an automatic one. I think I've mentioned this in some videos that I didn't actually post, but I would not buy this harness again. There's nothing wrong with it, but it would have been a lot easier for me to just start from scratch. I dislike, I know I've mentioned this, I dislike the fact that there are brown wires or black wires in here. Or, I don't know, is that black? Is that dark brown? I can't tell. This is definitely black. That's a new wire I put in. So I'm taking all the black wires that I need to out of it, and we're gonna replace those with the striped wire if they're hot, and then the black is just for ground. So this is actually a ground wire for the gauge cluster. There'll be a few more ground wires scattered around here. Not anything complicated, just stuff I gotta do. I know. Anyway, I should have parts in this week to repin these. They use a little funny looking connector that is, there it is, this thing. I think that is it's like a WeatherPack 280 series or something like that. Delco 280 series, pinless or clipless, I don't know. Anyway, hopefully those will get here tomorrow or Tuesday, something like that. So yeah, thanks for watching.